Good afternoon, everyone. I'm Agnesh Gulati, the moderator for this webinar. Welcome to the webinar Be a More Dynamic presented by Reddington and Cetas. Through this webinar, we would like to take you through the different offerings and demonstration of a business management solution built on Microsoft Dynamics 365 Business Central that provides you actionable insights and increases your operational flexibility. The webinar will be divided into two sessions, 50 minutes of presentation and demonstration, followed by 10 minutes of Q&A. At the onset, a few ground rules. During the presentation, all the participants will be on the listen-only mode. During the presentation, if participants have any questions, they can use the Teams chat facility to send the questions to the host and the panelists. We will address the questions during the Q&A session. Also, kindly note, the session is being recorded and it will be shared with you post the webinar. Our speakers for this session are Mr. Prakash Kandaraj and Mr. Prakash Krishnan. Prakash is the Director of Sales and Marketing and manages Cetas ISV alliances globally. Prakash has 20 plus years of experience in helping customers on their digital transformation journey and customer success across the industries, leveraging Microsoft Dynamics 365 platform. Prakash Krishnan is the General Manager and Practice Head for Dynamics 365 Business Central. He has 15 plus years of experience in Dynamics 365 ERP systems, primarily in the Dynamics NAV, that's called the D365 BC. He has many years of professional experience in delivering project implementations, upgrade, pre-sales and support, and managing the teams. He has a vast knowledge in finance, manufacturing, and supply chain modules across the industries. Now, I would like to invite Mr. Prakash Kandaraj. Thank you, and over to you.
Thanks for the introduction. I'm audible, right? I'm audible, Avnish?
We can hear you. Yeah,
fantastic. Okay. Oh, all right. Thanks for the introduction and connect, Avnish. So let's get started. So today's topic is Be More Dynamic and talking about dynamic service central manufacturing in an overview. So today the way we do business has changed fundamentally, and if you noticed, with the global pandemic has accelerated the way we do operate the business, the chain, in terms of how we can modernize the operations to bring in the new process automations, how we can bring in the BPA tool or IT enablement to see how we can enable your business to increase the revenue streams, also cut down the cost, and most importantly, how we can automate your business process. Therefore, we can service your customer better and manage your business better. Okay, that's the one. Today, we're looking at the what we call Be More Dynamic to adopt your business process in line with industry demands. Okay, that's what you see the last 2 years of pandemic has accelerated the digital transformation of business processes today, and people are not just with accounting system, people moving towards the cloud driven or mobile driven applications to adopt and then bring in your value to your business. So keeping that context, we're going to focus on Microsoft Dynamics 365 Business Central as a ERP system for a growing SMB and mid-sized companies. And today in the demonstration, we're going to focus on the how manufacturing capability of Microsoft 360 BC help you to enable your business. Okay. Just an introduction, Cetas is a Microsoft Dynamics Gold partner, and we're there in the market for last 12 years now, and we are a pure of Microsoft Boutique. When we say Boutique, we do Microsoft biz apps called Microsoft 365, be it ERP and CRM application. ERP, we're talking about Business Center. That's a growing, ERP for mid and small size industries, and then for F&O is for the large enterprise clients. And then we do Power Platform. That's more on how we can digitize your legacy systems to bring into the enhanced data structures and then automate, connect your multiple third-party application onto third-party stakeholders. Also talking about Power BI, and we also do LS Retail. Okay, and the good part is that the bottom part, you can see we are a ISV partner. It's an ISV partner. We are strong get into the product engineering services where we can develop the application on top of the Microsoft platform to bring in the enhanced capability on the industry nuances or industry demands. We talk about Enable for a construction engineering applications and VMP for bringing the automating the entire procure-to-pay process in terms of vendor onboarding, vendor portal, all that. We also have payroll, PDC for managing your posted checks, also for a FOIS for managing your e-commerce for restaurant chains. Okay, these are the our own applications, and again collaborate with Microsoft Dynamics ERP systems. As a partner, we've done close to 225 Microsoft Dynamics engagement globally across the industries, and we have done 10 plus add-ons, and we are globally servicing the customers across all industries. As a team, we are 100 plus team members spread across Chennai, Bangalore, and Dubai, UAE. Okay. Start on the product from Microsoft Dynamics Business Center. So if you noticed it, maybe some people are already using a Microsoft Dynamics now. That's called BC today. If you're already using a NAV system or a new your ERP environment, I'll just touch upon the product capability and then we'll go specifically to the demonstrations. Microsoft provide the core, pillars, that's called architecture pillars, which help you to synthesize your data, bring in your automating all your processes, and then bring your intelligence through machine learning, artificial intelligence. That means how you can data can be used to bring it to your productive efficiently and adaptable. Okay, we say modernized. We're talking about all your process on your screen, the way you look at it from your either web applications or a mobile or tablet client, you won't see any differences. Okay, that's called modernized. Also, the data capturing from all your screen, you'll see all in same way. Therefore, data synthesized. When say unified, the data connect your people or department across the enterprise, be it your geographically across or multi-country, all that can be unified and intelligent with leveraging your machine learning artificial and adaptable. If you're a growing company, you can start with basic sales and service module and then operation module and then bring it to manufacturing module. So it help you to adopt. And good part is that with the Microsoft App Source, you can able to extend your application to bring in multiple vertical or add-ons. So they're talking about in our own add-on like Nable or vendor portal or payroll. You can bring in and once you grow. That's called adaptability. And good part is that it's all the applications. Okay, you can collaborate with the Power Platform. Power Platform today we talk about low code, no code applications. Using that with the built-in connectors and gateways, you can connect your any third-party application or legacy, or you want to modernize your legacy and to bring into ERP system connect. You can do all that with also your Power BI to bring in your embedded Power BI reporting. Okay, the good part is that it provides a complete single comprehensive ERP solution for the growing SMB market today. Okay, and most importantly, if you are a Microsoft Dynamics M365 or O365 customer, the good part is that the kind of productivity, the kind of efficiency and interoperability you can see very huge in terms of the way you operate your business. You could do it with things like Outlook, Excel, Teams. You could do all that. To get into the product detail, so these are the module talk about financials, sales service, project management, supply chain operations, and report analytics part here. Today, we're going to focus more on the manufacturing, how Microsoft, BC manufacturing model help you to enable your business with respect to your managing item card, managing a vendor customer card, managing your routings, and your MRP, all that part we will talk about today. A good part I talk about earlier screen, adopt faster. How system help you to adopt your business part faster? In the sense, one is how system help you to your user adaptability. That's the one. Second thing, you're automating your business processor. Third is bringing the data into digital format. Fourth is how system help you to make your digitize the data into informed decision making, right? With the keeping that for context, with the system help you to adopt faster. Therefore, the learning curve is very shorter. Okay, that in terms of connecting your sales, service, or supply chain manufacturing team on a single sense of the truth. One. Okay, and in terms of the look and feel, we're talking about for your CXO level people, the way you look at all your embedded Power BI reporting, the metrics or KPI metrics, what we call fact box, which available to people to take informed decision making. Okay, and in terms of process perspective, you can quickly set in terms of onboard your employees people to connect in terms of their roles and privileges can be done quicker. Okay, whether be it your multi-company, multi-currency, or company consolidation, intercompany transaction, all can be done quickly. Okay. Work smarter. I talked about how connectivity within Microsoft application, be it your O365 or M365 or Dynamics, help you to empower your people. Okay, that's a prime objective, right? Where how you want to drive your productivity, efficiency. Therefore, you can set your company into a growing platform for your foundation, right? So if you can see all the screen here, the system help you to people like your sales people or your service people, they can do some of the transaction through Outlook itself. You can see all the screen and bring in your vendor transactions or customer transactions. You can do it without logging to ERP screen. You can do it in the Outlook itself. Okay, that's a one. Second thing is you can share your screen or share your link to your team member. If you're using a M65 or O365, you can collaborate much better. Therefore, you can see productivity. Okay, and I talked about the how you can automate your process using your Power Platform. You can bring in connecting with the third-party stakeholder. For example, if you want to connect your logistics provider or your vendor or contractors or your third-party job work providers, you can connect with their applications through the built-in Power Platform. Also, today Power Platform comes with 250 plus connectors and gateway. Therefore, you can seamlessly connect your process, connect the people. Therefore, you can see collaborative environment. And what perform better. Okay, today people are moving from a single accounting system to ERP system to ensure that you take informed decision making. You want data to be available for informed decision and real-time basis. Okay, that's where Microsoft Dynamics 365 Business Central provides you the all the a built-in the role center, and talking about your CX workspace or your manufacturing workspace, supply chain workspace, or your operation workspace, which comes with the built-in the role center, where it comes with the pre-built-in reports, dashboards, KPI view, which help you to take informed decision making, either be it your department wise or enterprise wise or even geographical consolidation, even segmental reporting, all can be done. Okay, when it comes to the reporting, also you can do a lot of transaction through the Excel pivot reporting, right? Also, the system comes with locations. Today for India, it comes with the built-in your GST, all your statutory requirement like a TDS, TCS, all can be done with including a UABL, managing your e-invoicing can be done quickly. The two code part which I want to touch upon before we create demo, one's called Excel sheet. Today you people use day-to-day of Excel sheet with BC and Excel interpretability, where you can do most of your transactions. I mean, you can do data entry in Excel sheet, bring into ERP system without getting to log into ERP system. So that's a good part, right? Because people, the finance people, they do in terms of month-end closures or quarter closure, year-end closure. They want to faster, books of closure. They want to do it Excel sheet, where Microsoft BC provides much more functionality capability to help you people to adopt and therefore close your books faster. Okay, and also you can do a lot of reporting and transaction analysis through your Excel pivot reporting. With Outlook, I talked about the how you can without logging into ERP system, you can do most of your transaction, do it over your Outlook itself in terms of managing your screens, managing your converting your quote into sales order. You can do all through Outlook itself. Also view your customer history in terms of the customer transaction data, in terms of discounts, credit notes, you do all that. Okay. Yeah, I talked about the teams, which also help you to collaborate faster. Yeah, which I want to debate here. But in terms of creativity, in terms of collaboration piece, we talk about how Microsoft Dynamics help you to bring in your collaboration piece with the third party or your external stakeholders. Okay, one is even if you're a small IT team, you can use Power Platform to bring in either use Power Automate or Power Apps to bring in apps. I can collaborate. Also, you can empower your team to collaborate for informed decision making. Also, if you have a team intern available, you can enhance your applications to modernize with connecting your multiple applications or modernizing application with Power Apps. Okay. So I talked about earlier how we can extend, right? We talked about connectors and gateways, which Power Apps, Power Automate, we call CDS called Common Data Service Data Model, with the Office 65 or M365 with what you call the Microsoft ERP system. The good part is that Microsoft today available on premises as well as cloud. Okay, the two model where you can choose your deployment model. And good part is that with the cloud, Microsoft takes care of all your infra services with respect to your backups, you're managing your data, availability, all that. So why Microsoft Basing is a completely flexible, scalable, extendable ERP platform for today a growing SMB segment. And the good part is that it provides a unified, intelligent, data, synthesis data, also bring in your BRB in terms of automating your process. In terms of deployment, this can be quickly deployed. We talk about, the standard application can be deployed within 12 to 16 weeks based on your requirement scope. We can go to 20 weeks time. That's the beauty of the applications. And talk about how we can adopt, start with the basic requirement, and you can scale as when your business demands. Okay, with O365 M365, you can run end-to-end process from your all your platform. Again, with Microsoft guarantees in terms of cloud services, security, and again, they talk about complete cloud vision. You talk about Microsoft provides your cloud driven, mobile driven in terms of the your interface, process automation, all that. And good part, we talk about one single vendor with Microsoft partner ecosystem like Cetas, a gold partner. We bring in our industry expertise, industry best practices to or help you to implement for your business processes. Okay, again with guaranteed 99.9 SLA for if you're going with a cloud model. As a, as a value proposition to business, we talk about move to cloud faster, and with the conference, I can unlock your productivity. Again, align with your M365, Dynamics 365, and O365. You can see a lot of benefits, and most importantly, all your departmental data, be it your warehousing, supply chain, projects, or manufacturing operations, all can be single source of truth, which help you to take informed decision making. Therefore, you'll see increase financial and operational visibility. Okay, also boost your team performance and productivity. Just on the licensing perspective, Microsoft today available on two core uses. One's called the Essential and the Premium. Premium for people who want to leverage the manufacturing and service module. Okay, manufacturing talking about be it your make to order or make to stock, or even some part of the process manufacture can be also managed to run your operations. Also, if you're offering a service capability for your business, managing your after sales service or service contract, all can be managed with the central. If you are purely a supply chain or a trading company, you can use Essential license to manage your business operation. It helps you to manage complete accounts and finance, supply chain, sales operations, and in terms of project management, also the warehouse operations here. The team member help you to manage all your read and approve or run all your reports, employee self-service part here. The good part I talked about the extension, right? As a partner like Cetas, as a partner, we have built multiple add-on solutions to manage your other requirement. So the NABL, VMP, all that, which are available in OpSource today. You can go log into OpSource. You can see all available. When you require, you can just download from the OpSource. With this, I'll take the floor to my colleague Prakash Krishnan for the product demonstration. Maybe I will jump in the end for the Q&A. Prakash, over to you.
Thanks, Prakash. So good evening all. Thanks for joining with us today for this webinar. So now I will start with the basic product features and functionalities, which are very common for all the models. Then as today's focus is more on manufacturing, I will talk about the manufacturing capabilities of Dynamics 365 Business Central. Yeah. So the home screen, which you are currently seeing, the Dynamics 365 Business Central home screen. This is purely on the role-based workspace. We call it as workspace. So Microsoft, the Business Central comes with 20 plus standard role centers, which can be extended, which can be configured based on the requirements, the different roles. For example, I just logged in as a business manager. I just want to see all my business in a different perspective. So I'll be able to see all the data insights, KPIs on my home screen so that I can save a lot of time on navigating into multiple screens and generating multiple reports and so on. Yeah. So within this screen, based on the role centers, based on the role that you logged in, so you'll be able to see the data insights, KPIs, which you can simply drill down and you can get into the transactions. For example, I have 10 purchase orders that are ongoing, so which may require some approval or which is still in progress. Suppose I want to view them, I can simply drill down from the home screen. I can get into the list of those 10 purchase orders and I can take some action on that. Yeah. So that way you can simply drill down and you can get into the transaction level and you can see what it is. So that way you can simply go from the home screen itself. And there are other KPIs like the unprocessed payments, so on. Yeah. So this also comes with the, so basically you can even scan the document by just switching on your laptop's camera and take a snapshot. And those images can be attached with any transaction so that it can be used for auditing purposes and so on. And the Business Central also comes with the OCR capability, and it uses the third-party OCR services to read the PDF file that you receive from your vendors, and that can be attached as a proof of document. That is also possible. And it has other standard insights, the business performance charts, so which you can see on your home screen. You may be aware of the Power BI, which is the business intelligence tool from Microsoft, where you can embed those Power BI reports within your Business Central home screen so that you don't need to switch between multiple applications for generating reports. Yeah, so that way you can embed and you can change the reports and you can view them on your home screen itself. Again, the Power BI is very powerful business intelligence tool. It's all interactive. You can make a lot of uh, visually rich reports using Power BI. All the reports are the interactive reports, which can be changed, or you can apply various filters and so on. So all these reports are connected with Business Central. So you will be able to connect with Business Central and you can develop the Power BI reports as well. The report inbox is more on the automatic reports. For example, as an accounting manager, I want to see my outstanding payables or receivables every Monday, for example. I'll be able to schedule them so that that system will automatically generate those reports and it will made available on my home screen itself so that it saves my time. So instead of generating the reports each and every time, I'll be able to quickly look at the reports and take action on that. Yeah. And of course, as Prakash mentioned, it has multiple you can have a number of companies, multiple companies and multiple currencies. Those are all the basic product features. And the application is completely controlled by the user roles and permissions. So you can define who has to see what, and you can also take the audit trials, which is the statutory requirement. So where you can take the complete audit trials of who did what and when. And this search will help you to search any particular screen. For example, I want to get into the customers list. So I can simply search so that this will display all the relevant search results in terms of pages and tasks and in terms of the reports. And he did talk about the app source, which is Microsoft marketplace called app source. So you can also search those, and also you can search the relevant online documentations which are available by default. Yeah. And so any screen, the user will be able to personalize their screen based on their preferences, and they can add the columns. When I say add columns, the columns would have been available in the database, the respective tables. You can simply add them. You can hide them if you don't want to, if you feel that is not relevant for you. So you can hide them. You can completely change the way the screens are displayed. Yeah. So for example, I'm just opening the list of customers, and that will give me the list of all the customers in my database in this particular company. So, and on the right hand side, you can see the statistics about this particular customer. When I change a customer, the statistics get changed, and the number of transactions that are posted. Suppose if you want to see any specific transaction, you can simply drill down and get into the list of those transactions. So this tool, this tip, the guide will also help you to know about the particular screen, and you can also disable that. For example, I just opened the list of the posted sales invoices for a specific customer, and I'll be able to search any specific document which customer is asking for, and I can simply open them and I can see what is the information or items that are posted in this particular invoice. Let me switch off this teaching tips. So this is how we can simply get into the particular transaction level, and you can take all the details about the particular transaction. If you want to send the invoice through email or you want to print them, you can take all the actions. And in case of any attachments that will be available on this attachment section, this attachment is possible in all the transaction, all the masters. For example, if you want to keep a copy of your customer's GST certificate, for example, or TDS certificate. So those attachments can be attached with any master data as well as transactions. For example, if you are getting the purchase invoices from your vendor, when you are posting the purchase invoices, you can attach them along with the invoice so that will be available for the references. I'll just go back to the previous screen. So that way you can completely track the customer related transactions or any, for example, vendor or item. In all the screens, you have all these options to navigate into the ledgers and so on. So for example, I am just selecting a customer. I can see all the customer statistics in terms of how much is the balance, what is the outstanding orders, or how much payment is received so far. I can see all those information on the statistics itself. Again, this comes with the simple drag down, drill down. So where you can drill down and you can get into the list of transactions. Again, in all the screens, you have these options. You can simply open this data. For example, I have 5 customers in my table, my database. I want to open them in Excel. I can simply open them in Excel, so that can be used for any taking any reports or any knowledge information purposes. Yeah, that simply opens in the Excel. And similar option is also available for editing the transactions, editing the master data. For example, I want to make some changes on the customer name. I can simply select the edit in Excel so that the data gets opened in Excel. I'll be able to edit and push it back to Business Central. Again, this is purely managed by the user roles and privileges. You can restrict who can access, who can edit the data in Excel, or you can use the Excel option to push the data to Excel. So you can make all the changes and you can publish it back so that the data get updated in Business Central. Yeah. So you can make some changes and you can publish so that this gets updated in Business Central in fraction of a second. So all Microsoft other Office products are tightly integrated with Business Central because it's all sits in the same platform. So for example, Outlook, right? So either in Outlook Online or Outlook the desktop version, if you are using Office 365 email account, it has the close integration with Business Central as well. For example, I have got a mail from my customer and he's asking for an invoice copy, which he wants to make a payment to me. So when the email arrives in my inbox, system automatically recognize who is a customer, and it is recognizing it reads the message body and it recognizes the invoice belongs to this particular customer. So I'll be able to open the invoice within Outlook so that I don't need to go to Business Central and generate report, not required. Within Outlook, you will be able to access the Business Central screens and you can generate the invoice copy and you can attach in the email and you can. So this is the invoice which he is asking for. I can review and I want to send it back to the customer. I can click on send button so that it gets created within Outlook as an attachment. Yeah. So that way you can save a lot of time in responding to your customer. Not only the invoice view, document view, you can also, now this draft is ready for verification and the invoice is attached. If you want to add some additional messages, you can add and can push it back to the customer. But not only invoices, for example, you can also create the quotations. For example, if customer asking for a quotation and system is capable of reading this message body and link with the items available in your Business Central. So here you have options to create a new sales code so that system automatically reads the message body and suggests the lines that are asked by the customer. So you can even create the sales quotation, sales orders, purchase invoice, purchase order, so on. So this is completely integrated with Business Central. So coming back to Business Central, I was talking about the personalization, and the user will be able to modify. They can change the preferences. They can add the additional fields. They can hide those fields. Those are all possible. I'll just open a customer card. I'm just opening a customer card. I can see a lot of information about my customer. For example, let's take. So if I feel the service zone code may not be relevant for me, so what I can do is I can simply personalize. I can move the fields and I can hide the fields. I'll just select the field and click on hide. Or if you want to add additional field, you can click on plus the symbol. So these are all the fields available. You can simply drag and drop. So this way you can completely customize all the screens. This is specific to a particular user login. So user will be able to personalize their pages. Also, we have talked about the opening the data in Excel. Also, you can share this URL link in Teams, and you can also copy the link and you can share with your colleagues so that they can simply open those URL and they can view a particular record. So these are all the basic product features. Now I think I can move on to the manufacturing model. So before that, I just want to quickly cover the various modules that are available as part of the product. So you have the complete financial accounting module. It's completely localized version of for India. And so the GL, cash management, receivables, payables, fixed assets, and the inventory is tightly integrated with all other modules like the supply chain, manufacturing, and so on, accounting, and so on. And the complete procure to pay cycle is handled in the purchasing module, starting from the purchase code, purchase orders, GRN, invoices, purchase handling the vendor returns, so on. And the sales and marketing, it has the basic CRM functionality as well, where you can create the contacts, create the opportunity, and you can convert them into sales quotation and sales order, shipment and invoicing, and the sales returns as well. The complete order to pay cycle is also available. And in terms of manufacturing models, I will talk about in detail in coming session. So I will cover the manufacturing model. And it has other models like the advanced warehouse, where you have multiple locations, multiple storage warehouses, multiple zones, bins, multiple bin capacities, so on. So you can you have both options. You can use simple inventory as well as detailed advanced warehouse also possible. It has other modules like the project management module, project accounting, more on accounting, and the post sales service module also. Yeah. So these are all the modules available as a solution. Now we will focus more on manufacturing module. I just switched to the other tab where you can see a different home screen, because now I logged in as manufacturing manager. I want to monitor the ongoing production orders, and I want to see the bill of materials, the routings, and whatever the information related to manufacturing. I want to view on my home screen, because my role is manufacturing manager now. So I can see all relevant information on the go. So we have multiple stages of production orders, where you can even simulate the production order to see the demand and availability of materials, so that you can, before you commit to a customer. So you have this option of order to uh, uh, you have option to view all the production orders on the home screen. The multiple stages of production like simulation order, planned production orders, which is generated by the system mostly when you are running the MRP or MPS, and the firm planned production order, which is confirmed demand and yet to be started. And the released production orders is more on ongoing the WAP production orders. So, and once it is finished, that moves to the finished production orders. We will talk about that in coming screen. So you can see all the relevant information on your home screen. Of course, you can have manufacturing related Power BI reports as well. And I'll just start with the item masters, where you can define various items that you may be producing it or you may be buying it. So all the items have to be created in the item list, where you can see all the list of items. And for example, I'm just opened one single item, which is a production item. So I can capture all the production related information, and you have these options like whether it is inventory item, service item, or some cases there could be some non-inventory item like consumables, so on. And it has various you can maintain multiple unit of measures and so on. And within the item card, you will be able to completely track how much inventory is available in various locations, and how much quantity is lying on purchase orders, production orders, and so on. So again, you have drill down functionalities, and you can also see the cost related information on the item card. And you can also define the sales and purchase pricing. And when it is on the replenishment, you can define whether you will be replenishing the item, whether it is a bought out item or the production item, or the simple assembly. It has a simple assembly order as well. You can use simple assembly also. And you can also define the manufacturing policies, how the system want to plan the materials, whether it is a make to stock or make to order. So you can define them, and you can also attach the respective production bill of materials, routings for this particular item. And you have other planning parameters as well. For example, if it is a make to stock scenario, there could be various reordering policy. You can also fix the fixed order quantity. So you can also define the item as critical items, safety lead times, safety stock, And so whenever the inventory reaches a reorder point, system will automatically trigger. It will intimate you to create the purchase order or production orders to fulfill the demand. And it will suggest you the reorder quantity or how much quantity you need to. You can also mention the order modifiers, like there could be a minimum pack in your raw material for your raw materials. You can define all those parameters in the planning tab, so that when you are running the MRP, all these planning parameters are considered for planning. And it has the item tracking functionality as well, where there could be a lot number or batch number tracking you would require, or some cases in discrete manufacturing, there could be a serial number tracking. You can define all those item tracking so that at any point in time, you will be able to track the particular lot for the particular production and what are the lots being used, has been used. So you can completely track until the GRN. So the item tracing functionality is also available. And you can also, of course, you can attach the pictures. You can also capture the item attributes so that you can search any specific item based on the item attributes. And you can also see the statistics of a particular item so that it will give you the complete history about the particular item. And you can also maintain various variants under one single item. All these are possible under item master. So once you have this item, and of course you have to define the bill of materials, production bill of materials, where you will be defining the components or the sub-assemblies that are required for uh, for producing a particular item. You can define all the components required, and of course you can manage multiple unit of measures. The selling unit of measures may be different, and producing unit of measures could be different. You can manage all those multiple unit of measures as long as there are standard conversions available. And you can define various components that are required, how much quantity is required. And in case of scrap, if you calculate some scrap, you can also capture the scrap, because that gets calculated when you are running the MRP for fulfilling the requirements. Yeah, of course, you can have multiple versions of bill of materials. You can copy the bill of materials. You can compare with multiple versions. All these are basic functionalities that are available in and around bill of materials. Before getting into the routing process, I just want to quickly cover on the capacities. So it has the capacity planning engine as well, where you can define the various work centers and machine centers that are available. And you can also define the work center calendars, and you may have multiple factories or multiple branches which may follow multiple different type of weekdays, weekly holidays, and so on. So you can have different calendars so that system recognize the working days, and you can have multiple shifts as well. So based on that, system will calculate the work center calendar for the work center or machine centers, and the capacity is being calculated. For example, so I have these many work centers, and so I'll just open a single work center. So where you can define the, for example, the assembly department. So what is the cost of this particular department? When you can also define the cost based on the time or units. So for here, it's a time-based calculation I have defined. For example, for if the particular department runs for a minute, so this is my cost. So that way you can define the cost at the master level, so that this cost gets considered, calculated for arriving the production costing, the cost of the particular product. So you can define the capacities. It can be a one or multiple. There could be a multiple concurrent machine you may be having, or multiple resources that you have. So you can define all the capacities, and you can define the efficiency level for each and every processes as well. So that once you're done, you will be able to see the load of a particular work center. For example, for each day, I have the capacity of 480 minutes, against which how much is allocated. When I say allocation, this is for the production orders. Whenever you create a production order, this is getting allocated. Till you have this drill down functionality where you can drill down and see the particular production order number. So that this will help you to completely monitor your capacities, how much is available capacity on a particular date. You can also change the display, for example, a week or month or quarter. So you can change a view so that you will be able to see the workload available or available capacity versus the utilized capacities. So similarly, you can also define the machine centers. We have two things. One is a work center or machine centers. The machine centers can be individual machines or individual resources that are working under a work center. Similar information is getting captured at the machine center level as well. So that once you define all these capacities, you will be able to closely monitor the available capacity so that you can plan for your production better. Yeah. And in case of in terms of routings, for each and every item or each and every process, you will be able to define the routing steps, which is nothing but the production operations. For example, for manufacturing this particular item, so what are all the production process I need to follow? Assembly department, it goes to assembly department first, and it requires 5 minutes of time for producing one quantity of this particular item, and then it moves to painting department, then finally it is moved to packing department. So you can define multiple operation steps, and the setup time and run time is defined as the productive hours, which is the time spent for setting up or running time that gets added into your production costing. Other times are waiting, like wait time, move time, other times are non-productive times, which are used for calculating the schedule. So that way you can define the routing steps. Here also you have the versions and you have the copy options and so on. So now we have discussed about the production bill of materials and routings that is getting attached with the particular item, so that when you are good to start producing the item. So you have this worksheets like the MRP screen. Like if you run the MRP and it calculates the demand, and it considers all the lead time defined at the individual item level, lead time of supply, lead time for production, and the available inventory at the various locations, and pipeline inventory, which you have issued the purchase order but not yet received the items. So it will consider all the inventory and planning parameters. And when you run the MRP, system calculates and it arrives the planning so that you can take action on that. And it will suggest you when you need to create a purchase order or when you need to create the production order. For example, here you need to create a production order so that you can verify, and if you want to make some changes, you can make it. And it gives you more flexibility to decide to take some manual actions, or you can change your priorities and so on. Once you are decided, you can actually click of a button. So you can create multiple production orders and the purchase orders. Yeah. So this way the MRP and MPS will help you to plan the items for procurement as well as productions. So once you create the production orders, that gets created as firm planned production orders, then whenever you want to start a particular production, you can actually change it to released production orders, which are WAP, work in progress, ongoing production orders. So this is a simple example for a released production order where I need to produce 50 quantities of this particular item. So it can be a multiple item as well. So in this example, I just selected an item at the header level, and so 50 quantity. So based on the routing attached, and system will automatically suggest when you need to start the tentative schedule. System will suggest based on all your calendars, capacities, lead times, and so on, and when you can finish this particular production. This is simple reference purposes, and you can actually change the way you want to produce. And you can also view the components over here. So this is getting copied from the standard bill of materials, And there are substitutions where you can use the alternative items as well. And you can also plan, you can also view the inventory available in various locations or this particular production location, so that you can also track the available inventory, right? That is also possible. So you can also make some changes on bill of material. It is allowed because some cases you may need to add some additional components, additional change of quantities, that are all possible. So you can make changes on this particular production order. And so similarly, the routing process is also available. It copies from the standard routing, and it will tell you when you need to start a particular process and when it can be possibly finished. So based on the standard routing. So you will have a complete control on the particular production order process until you complete a production order. And so you can also, you have to give two inputs to the system, and whenever you are progressing the particular production. So you have to post the consumptions, and you can also post the output. So that system keeps calculating the items that are consumed against the production order, and it also calculates the quantity completed or the production process completed on a particular date. So you can also use the automatic flushing, so that in some cases you can also use the backward flushing. So you can automate the consumption, that is also possible. Once the final operation is completed, the inventory gets updated into the inventory module. And so for example, I just open the item ledger entries, which will show all the inventory transactions. You can see the particular item. These are all the outputs in a specific location. Location I just marked as East. So you can also see the lot number, serial number, how much quantity is produced, on when. And the cost is also getting calculated automatically by the system. Of course, the cost has two components. One is the material, another one is the capacities. Capacities can be a machine or men, or it can be even subcontractor. It has the Indian localization version has the subcontracting model as well, where you can issue the materials to your subcontractor. You can completely manage the subcontractor inventories, the scrap and wastages, returns. You can completely track the subcontracting as well. So all these components are getting calculated. So the system calculates the cost of productions as well. For example, I'll just open a completed production order so that you can see the cost calculations as well. So this is a finished production order. I have marked as finished, so that system will not allow me to make any changes. So you can see the cost breakup. For example, what is the material cost, capacity cost, subcontracting cost, and there could be some overheads, capacity overheads as well as manufacturing overheads. You can define all those in your work center or machine centers to calculate the production costing. So this is the expected cost and the actual cost, slightly different, right? So I have finished in a better price efficiently. So the actual cost is now comparatively lower than the expected cost. Expected cost is nothing but the standard bill of materials and routing cost. So that way you can also clearly track, compare the actuals that are produced against a standard bill of material and routing. So this is completely integrated with your accounting module. So whenever you post an inventory, that gets updated in accounting inventory ledgers as well. So this way you can completely manage your manufacturing. There are other options like where you can define the routing links, so that you can also follow the just-in-time inventory. So you can link the components with a specific process, so that you can maintain the inventory in an efficient way. So there are other possibilities as well. So considering the timeline, I just quickly covered the manufacturing model. I think we have 7 minutes left for you to ask some questions, so that we are happy to answer your questions. I will take a pause now. If you have any questions, please type it on your chat window, or you can raise your question.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much, thank you. Just give me one second, please. I'm just checking if all we have any questions. So Prakash, I think okay, could you just answer question? What are the typical costs of implementation of Dynamics Business Central?
Yeah. So Prakash, you want to take this question?
Yeah, that's based on the scope. What kind of the scope you want to begin with all that?
So I think we'll require some more information to answer.
Yeah, exactly. So you
question.
need to understand like the current business processes and how many, the in terms of the what process in the supply chain or manufacturing, what kind of manufacturing, and how many users, all that. Also, any integrations or how many reports, how many invoice print or document print they require, all that.
So, by that time, we have another question. How does Business Central work with Microsoft 365?
Yeah, so I talked about in this in the earlier presentation screen session where Microsoft Dynamics 365, O365, and M365 all built in with interpretability, wherein you can connect across all this platform. Therefore, you have seamless, collaboration, productivity, all that. Okay, so if you use, say, for example, Teams, okay, you can share your screen, you can share your link, or you want to send for approval, you can do all that with, with the Teams. Okay. For example, if you're creating item master, you want to get the input from your team, you can share the screen or share the link with your other colleague without getting logged into your system. You can do that one. Okay. If you're looking at say Outlook perspective, okay, you can do all your customer interaction or vendor interaction through the Outlook itself. In terms, suppose if you're getting email from your vendor to give the code or customer to give the code, you can do it without logging to ERP systems.
Thank you so much.
That way, you can see I talked about how, Microsoft empower the people to drive more, right? That's way we talk about how system will help your each and every user within your enterprise or your organization to ensure that their productivity increases. Because now I have to go to log in this ERP screen, prepare the code for a customer where I can do it within the Outlook itself. I can save some time.
So thank you so much. There's one question. Can we do modular implementation as and when needed?
Absolutely. So I talked about same thing in my presentation, adaptability. Okay, where you want to begin with, say, for example, you are a manufacturing company, but you are new to the digital transformation. Maybe you're using currently with the legacy accounting system. You want to start with implementing for your finance module first, and then finance and supply chain first, and then to manufacturing. Absolutely possible. We as a partner, we recommend suggest based on how complex your manufacturing process you are, because and how you are readiness in terms of your ERP goal live readiness. That's the two parameter we look at it, and then we recommend the customer to see how we can say suggest you the approach for implementation.
Thank you so much. I think we just have 2 minutes left. We can take one last question here. Can we have multiple legal entities in D365 Business Central?
Absolutely, you can do that. You can create a multiple company, and you also you can do intercompany transaction. You can do also the consolidation. Therefore, you can see your P&L or segmental reporting on a global view.
Thank you so much, Prakash. So I think we are good with it. We are well within time. We just reached the time 4 o'clock. So thank you so much for joining in. And we would also like to mention Cetas would be more than happy to assist you for a one-on-one demo for the solution. We will be sharing the contact details with all the attendees after the webinar. And with this, we conclude the webinar. Thank you so much for your participation and look forward to interacting with you further. Have a very pleasant afternoon.
Thank you. Thank you all. Bye.
Bye.